Hi guys, and happy Saturday. Today is Saturday, March 19th, and after a very stressful work week, I am glad to be here back on and stamping some cards with you, showing you a few more sets this weekend that came out new in this year's almost ended annual catalog. So if you go on page 118, today we're going to be using the spiral die background. Really got excited about this when I saw it. Background stamps sometimes stick around a while, sometimes they don't. But I'm hoping this one sticks around. Haven't used it as much as I want to, so we're going to go ahead and use it today. Of course, the retired list is coming out. I think it's next week because the PDF comes out of the new catalog for us demonstrators to go ahead and review. So they usually come out at the same time. So we'll see. So then what I'll do is I'll spend the rest of March and April to go over any of those stamp sets that I have that are retiring. Okay, got a new backdrop here. This is a photographic backdrop. The good thing about it being a stressful week at work, and I work from home, so I don't have the commuting stress. It's just job stress. But I found my backdrops. I was like, where had I put those? And I found them. So I might be changing those out once or twice, a quarter. It doesn't, no. And then I found my watercolor pencils. The last time I went to Dallas for a company meeting or training was February of 2020, right before the pandemic started. And I had taken my watercolor pencils with me for my adult coloring books. And I'm like, where did I put those? Couldn't find them. Found them. Because, after I get off work and I'm stressed, I decided to clean up little parts of the craft room. And so I found them. So I've been playing around. Was trying to figure something out with them to do with the spiral die, but I thought that it was just too much, so we'll save those for another day. All right, so for the spiral die, if you have the Stamparatus, it's a good time to use it because, especially if you want to do like reiterations or second generation stamping, it's nice to have that, in the same place. I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to be using my trusty 20-year-old tool, heating tool, along with some clear embossing powder. Yeah, look at this. This embossing powder I've had forever. Now, if you remember on last weekend's video, I showed you the embossing powders where you could get like the 2 groups of 3. So you can either get the metallics or you can get the white, black, and clear. But I had bought the white, black, and clear before I knew I still had some left over. So I'm going to use this just because it hasn't gone bad yet. And it's got to be at least, I got to say, at least 8 to 10 years old because I don't think we've had this color scheme in that long. So we're going to be using that. Okay, let me get my cutter over here. Like I said, this is a big background stamp, so the Stamparatus works good. I never mounted the label just because on these, they're kind of hard to get the labels on straight. So you either have to use the Stamparatus or your really big block. So let me go ahead and I'll put it on the block. Oh, and look, I never trimmed this one down. I don't think we'll get many edges. And besides that, it's bigger than a normal cardstock. So, very unlikely that you would pick up those edges if you're stamping straight. We're going to continue to use our in colors that are going to be retiring at the end of April. So, this is Magenta Madness, Just Jade, and Bumblebee. And that's what we're going to be using for this. All right, so I have that stuck down. This is shimmer white paper. Not that you're really going to see the effect. I just like using it when I use this resist technique. It just seems to me like it shows up better. So what we're going to do is we're going to go at 2 inches. You know what? I'll make enough for a few cards. So let's go the 4 inches by 5 1/4, which is your normal layer. And I'll show you what we're going to do. All right. Let's go ahead and we have this mounted. Going to go ahead and grab my Versamark. And we're going to make sure we get a lot of Versamark on that. All right. Oh, my dog just came in and I have those photographic backdrops I was telling you about on my cot back here. So let me move them so the dog can jump up on my cot and watch me, because my husband must be in the shower getting ready for his online class he teaches on Saturday mornings. All right, so we have that all stamped up. I like going to the stamp itself and then just finding a cover sheet, which is just usually typing paper in my case, and pressing it like that. You can use the stamp press the other way, and you can go down, you know, do the ink to paper normal method. I just like doing this upside down method. Seems like I get more even coverage when I do that. All right, so let's go ahead and flip that off. So I know you can't really see it too well. Let's go ahead and we'll use this because I don't know where my tray's at. I miss that we don't have our trays anymore from Stampin' Up, the tidy tray I think it was called. So all you have to do is you can use that same piece of copy paper to get that powder on there. And you can see, you can kind of tell where you may or may not have it. Now the only thing you risk with old embossing powder is it may not, when you heat set it, it may not be as raised, or it may not grab the powder as well. It's looking pretty good right now, so I'm going to go ahead and keep it that way. All right. I'm going to go ahead and bring over my tray. And look what else I found. Old paintbrushes from Stampin' Up. I found a lot. Yeah, I was that stressed this week. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to talk before I do it. And I could have done this ahead of time, but I'm going to go ahead and just hold this down in a corner. Since I'm using this tray, it doesn't move too much because it doesn't have a lot of places to go. And we're going to heat this. You're going to see it start to change. That I'm going to bring it up so you can kind of see as it starts to change. See how it goes from that dry look to that shiny look. And the only bad thing about doing it inside of this is that sometimes you have that shadow and you can't really see what all has changed and what all hasn't. And once it's embossed, you don't want to leave it on there too long, just because you don't want to dry up that powder. All right, let me go turn that around. I'm going to go kind of a high. All right. I figured the more and more I use that tool, maybe it'll give out and then I can have a reason to buy the one that's in the current catalog. All right, I'm looking. It looks like for the most part, oh, I think there's one little spot there that I didn't get. Yep, did you see a churn? All right, let me go ahead and do this again really quick over the top of it. All right, now we're gonna unplug that. I don't like leaving my heat gun plugged in. All right, so here we go. And now we're gonna bring out from my drawer, bring out the blending brushes. Now I think I'm going to kind of use the same colors that I'm using on my layers. So I'm going to take out the one that I have for pinks, yellow, and green. So let me grab out those 3 brushes. Oh my gosh, I probably should have had those out already. No nails doesn't help to get these bags open. All right. So there we have those. And let me grab those colors from over here. Just Jade, Magenta Madness, and Bumblebee. All right, and I thought about doing the masks. I think they're over here. I thought about doing the masks to create even more of a pattern. I'm not sure if I want to do that or not. I like the striped one, but I don't even know if we have the striped one anymore. So you could do this, and maybe I will do that to kind of, oh yeah, because look, it kind of waves. Okay, so let me grab off, this is a piece of that repositionable tape. So let me go ahead and put that down. So it kind of holds that card in, but I'm right up to the edge of the card. I can see through there. All right. All right. Hopefully I don't move it too much. And I'm going to go from my light to my dark again. So let's go ahead with the Bumblebee first. You know what, I'm going to get out. Let me get this out so I can tap it off here. So I'm going to just kind of, and you see it moves. If you want to hold it, you can. I'm not too worried. I just want kind of the effect. Of like a rainbow look. I'm not too worried if this is moving like it is. If you were worried, you would go ahead and put a lot more tape maybe on the underside or around the edge of the cards. Like I said, I'm not completely worried about that. So let's go now to Magenta Madness. Oh, that really moved there. I don't know if you saw that or not. All right, and let's go to my green one for Just Jade. Oh, there's something in there. Oh. Oh, and then I moved it out. All right, so I have to come all the way over here to the corner. See, I pulled on that a little bit too much and it went over the card. So let me go ahead and go down here like this. And I'll just kind of go over that side just to make sure I got everything on that side. And then when I take it off, even if we have missing parts, when I take it off, we can go ahead and go over the top. Let's just kind of see. Oh, I got some good look there. So now I'm going to go over, oops, let me take my washcloth I have here and do that resist, because now that I have, and I did get something on there. I must have had something on the bottom side of my mask. So we have that little pattern. Now let's go overall with one other color. Of course, you know what I'm going to say. And this is not a retiring in color, but it is my favorite overall color. So here's Mango Melody. Favorite, favorite, favorite. So now I'm going to go over that cardstock completely. Just a light layer. So you're still going to get some of that color from underneath. it this way. And on this technique, when you're doing this overall color, it's not always troublesome if you don't stamp it off here once, because more than likely you're going to hit some of that embossing powder and it's going to resist anyway. So let's go ahead and wipe off where that emboss was. Now if you'd used the basic white, it would show up a lot more, but the resist, you don't see as much on here. I wonder if I do just a darker corner, if I can show you. But this is kind of a light effect. So see here, we have that, and now you can see when you wipe it off, see how that white comes up from underneath there. So let's just do a couple little areas like that. Alright, so yeah, I don't think the mask was that great of an idea. It made it almost too subtle. I really want that to pop out. So let's go ahead. We'll just fill in here after the fact. And see how that's coming through. And yes, you should probably clean off your washcloth every once in a while. I use this all week at work for my little dry erase board I have beside me. So that's why it has so much on it. So yeah, it probably needs to go in the washer. Alright, let's go ahead. So the mask was a good idea, but I think the mask I chose was just too... It was too delicate. I don't think it was going to work, no matter what I did. Hey, and how about that men's basketball tournament? Do you guys watch that? Very excited. I'm from Iowa, so I was sad. Well, not really. I'm not a Hawkeye fan, but I was kind of sad that Iowa lost. But my team, Iowa State, won last night. Beat LSU. Sorry, LSU. But you always love an underdog, because I think Iowa State was ranked in their bracket like 12th or 13th, and LSU was like 4th. So, yay, Iowa State. And then my son went to Illinois. Of course, we're from Illinois now, so my son went to the University of Illinois. My daughter went to the School of the Art Institute of Chicago, and they don't have teams. But Illinois also won. I guess it was a nail biter. I started to watch it. I got a little disgusted. It was like, oh, Illinois, how can you do this? So he continued to watch. I didn't. But they ended up winning by 1 point. So yay, Iowa State. Yay, Illinois. All right, so here we have it again. We put all that color on, and now you're going to wipe away that resist. And you see how that, well, it's not white in this case. It's shimmer white, so it's a little off color. But look how when you buff that, look how that comes up. And you always want to make sure you go out towards the edges, or you could bend, crinkle your cardstock. All right, look at that. Oh, how pretty. How pretty. All right, so now let me grab my cutter. And we're going to go 2 inches. So you're going to have 2 strips of 2 inches. And then we're going to do half of the 5, and this was a 5 1/4, I believe. Yeah, 5 1/4. So we're going to go to 2 and, let's see, 5 1/4 is 5 2/4. So you want to go to 2 3/4 is halfway, right? Yes, 2 3/4. I'm trying to think. Math is hard. Math is hard. 5 1/4. So 2 1/2 would be 5, and the 4th would be 1/8 over. Oh, there we go. 1/8 over 2 1/2. Okay, I like math, but sometimes it doesn't work out right. There you go. So you're going to go to the 1/8 mark over 2 1/2. So that's how you do it. You break it down to the math you understand, and you add in as you have to. All right. So then that means that this piece is going to be, since this is 2, this is going to be 2 1/4. And since this was an 1/8 over 2 1/2, we're going to go an 1/8 over the 2 3/4 mark. Does that make sense? It's Roxy Math. I'm going to make that a new hashtag. Hashtag Roxys Math. All right. So there you see, you have that beautiful edge. All right. But I'm going to do it, because I have enough here to make 2 cards. So let's do this again. Let's do it this way this time. So we know that this is going to be that over 2, an 1/8 over that 2 3/4, and then this was going to be 2 1/4. All right. Oh my gosh. Scraps, scraps, scraps. Let me pull those off. So let's go ahead. Oh, I don't even remember. I was going to try to keep this in the same order, but I didn't, as you can see. All right. I think this was... That's not it, but it might be close enough. Oh, there it is. There we go. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead. We're gonna go here, 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 here. These are gonna be our layers. Oh my gosh. So come over here, put it down where there's not any of that, because it can rub off, as we all know. And with this card, if you wanted to make it, and I'll show you how we're completing in a sec, if you wanted to make it taller, you would just make taller strips and do the same thing. So let's go to my card base. All right. I'm thinking we need to put a little bit of white underneath there, because that really is kind of bright on the eyes. All right. So let me go over here, grab my basic white. So on this, let's start off with the 5 1/4 and see how we like it, because that's going to be kind of matchy-matchy. We might have to trim it down a little bit more. We'll see. So the 5 1/4 and then 4, which is your regular layer, which is where we started cutting from, of course. And I think we're probably going to tone down the edges a little bit. Yeah, I do like that a little bit better. So what we're going to do on this background piece, we're going to keep these two together. Just with what's left on here, just go over your card a little bit, just to take some of that stark white off. So you see, we're not adding any new color, we're just reusing what color was left from doing that mask. Oh, I'm really moving the table. Sorry. All right, so just kind of like a little tie-dye-ish look. But look, when you put it down, how it really takes away some of that starkness. All right. And I'm hoping that my Stampin' Seal holds out till my order comes in on Tuesday. It's really weird. If I order Tuesday from Stampin' Up, I usually get it delivered Friday or Saturday. But if I order on Wednesday, then it usually goes to the next week. So they're saying possibly Tuesday. Sometimes it'll update it and go to Monday. All right, on these, I think I want to do dimensionals. All right. And yes, now that I've moved these all around, they probably won't be in the same order like I had it. All right, let's take these off. I'm not using my take your pick tool only because like that. These are still some of my paper pumpkin ones, and they seem to release a lot easier. So I can just pull them off with my hands. Make sure they hit the garbage can so my dog doesn't think that it's whipped cream. All right, so let's go ahead, leave a little bit of an edge there. See how we're trying to match that up kind of in the middle there. It's not going to match because remember, this was stamped as one. It wasn't, we weren't allowing for that little overlay. And then let's see, what jewels do I want? We might as well, these are the 2021, 2023. So these are the ones that go for another year. Let's see, I think these are already retired. Yes, these are already retired. I'm pretty sure. I bought a lot of them when they first came out. I don't even think they're in this catalog right now. I think they're one of the carryovers, or they're on the that one thing, the clearance rack. But let's just go ahead and, oh my goodness. Did I really have them that long? Oh, that's not my, you know me, I usually do my 3s, but I got a Roxy hair, fin hair. I don't know which one it is. Oh, it's a Roxy hair. All right. So let's just do the 3s, even though I think that's kind of busy now. And then let's do a greeting. Let me see. Let's go ahead. I used this one last weekend. And let's just go with happy hello. So here's my hello. Here's happy. Oh my goodness. That's not happy. I did this last time too, didn't I, guys? There's happy. So let's go ahead and grab out 2 smaller ones. So there's happy. Here's hello. Sorry, hope I didn't get my head in there. And let's go ahead. Hopefully I can stamp that around the jewels. That's the good thing about photopolymer. Oh, and I don't have my, let me move this over just in case. As you can see. And let's go ahead and do the hello. And there you are. Beautiful emboss resist using the in colors and the spiral die background stamp. Thanks a lot, guys, and have a great day.